also an F-boy, which I'll say this, every guy on that show was an F-boy. Changed, like he turned to a different person. I was like, is he gonna pull something out of his trench coat or something? Like, this is scary.
Hey guys, I'm Whitney Danhauer. I'm an entertainment writer with Showbiz Cheat Sheet. I have Mercedes Knox here from FBoy Island season 2. He's one of the finalists. So you to the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Had to.
Yeah. So did you go in with a particular strategy about how you were going to play the game?
Yeah, I actually did. So I mean, basically, if you watch season 1, it's like the blueprint of how to win FBoy Island. You see every guy who was on season 1 who got in trouble, it was because they were doing kind of the locker room talk thing. To where, you know, when they're not around the girls, they'll be talking about all the girls they hook up with back home, or talking about the clout they're going to have when they get back. And I kind of made it a point, like, all you got to do is not do that. And, you know, the guys won't have anything to, you know, say anything about me or anything bad, because I made it a point to not do any locker room talk, not talk about taking the 100K. So I kind of had a plan of not, you know, shooting myself in the foot that way. But, you know, when you're coming in, you don't know if you're going to have a connection with a girl to even have the opportunity to be able to, you know, even make it that far, or even have guys, you know, wanting to talk crap about you. Because, you know, when you're a front runner and, you know, you have a strong connection, and guys are going to be coming after you. So,
and they did. I feel like they're, well, and I also, and I've said this in my other interviews too, like, I feel like your edit, you kind of got the villain edit.
Oh, for sure.
With the way that everyone was like, no, he's not a nice guy. He's not a nice. And even while I was watching it through the thing, I even said to Rachel, I was like, he just doesn't seem nice. And I mean, I know that it's like how it's edited and stuff.
Yeah.
But you really stood out as like someone that was there for the game. You weren't there to make friends. You were there, you know, to stay in the game.
Yeah. So I wasn't there to make friends at all. And it was basically about coming here and winning. And I like Louise, and we had a good connection, like, off the rip. So that was my main priority. And it wasn't about having friends when I come back or whatever. It was, how am I going to get this girl, you know?
Right.
So that's why, you know, I didn't really care about the friendships in the house, because I knew at the end of the day, these guys are going to try to tear me down. And, you know, because they want to be where I'm at. Like, I had a lead from the beginning, you know, and people were jealous of that, and they wanted to be where I was. So I knew there was no real friends in there. And the only real person I could trust was myself. And I even told the guys, I said, I don't trust you guys, to their face.
So did you feel that instant connection with Louise? Like, there was never any other thought in your head that you weren't interested in Tamaris or Mia? It was always Louise?
Yeah, it was always Louise. She was the girl I was most attracted to. So, you know, when we first walk in and we see the girl sitting down, you know, she was the one that, you know, caught my eye. And, you know, I caught her eye too, because I got her lanyard, her first lanyard. So it was like, the girl I want, you know, likes me too. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So we kind of just ran with it from there.
So when you immediately hit it off with Louise, did you go in thinking that did you know if you were going to split the money or not, or did you have it in your head that you were absolutely not going to split the money, you were just going to wait and see how things panned out?
So I mean, I wasn't going to split the money at all, because for one, I just didn't trust the producers, and I saw what they did last season to Garrett. So it was like, even if I was faking this and didn't like Louise, I still would have split the money with her, but I actually liked her. So, and you know, it really, like, in the game, it wasn't even about the money. Like, I genuinely liked this girl a lot.
Yeah. Are you guys still together? I heard her on Reality Steve's podcast, and she said you guys were still on good terms and kind of on and off. How's that going?
So, I mean, I live in Dallas and she lives in Miami. We don't live near each other. It's kind of hard to be in a serious, committed relationship when you don't see that person that often.
I agree.
Do I like her a lot? Yes. Do we still talk every day? Yes. So, you know, there still can be a relationship there. I would want a relationship. But right now, it's just not the perfect time for us to be in a committed relationship. Like, I feel like it would be kind of hard and like toxic, you know, if we're forcing a relationship. So it's like, you know, it definitely could happen in the future, you know, when, you know, the past aligned, but right now it's just not the perfect time to be in a committed relationship.
Yeah, I get that. It's pretty hard to do like long distance.
Yeah, exactly.
To fly back and forth.
Right.
So did you know for sure, or did you have any idea that Tamaris was going to end up being an F girl?
She was an F girl the entire time. I knew she was an F girl. You know, that's actually her. You know, she's an F girl. Which isn't a bad thing. You know, it's not a bad thing. But we just knew, you know, who she kind of was. And, you know, she wasn't trying to hide it at all. So we knew that, you know, she was an F girl, but we didn't know that she would have that opportunity to take the money at the end. So that's why I was flabbergasted, shocked, you know, jaw on the ground when I saw it. I was like, they even had that option. So that was kind of shocking.
Which makes me wonder, did they even know? I mean, I know they said that they told them right before the final ceremony that that you could keep the money for yourself. But I'm like, did they really tell them that, or did they actually know from the beginning? Because from the beginning, and then it just kind of like makes it not fair. If Tamaris knew from the beginning she could just take the money, why would any of them, unless they were really there for love?
Exactly. So, I mean, according to them, according to the girls, according to the producers, they told them the day of the finale. So the day of the finale, you have to lock what you're going to do in. As the F-boy, I have to lock in if I'm going to split it, if I get chosen, or if I'm going to take the money. So before we actually film, the producers know what's going to happen, and we sign a contract, and that's locked in. So apparently when they sat them down, they're like, all right, we have another twist for y'all. Y'all can't do this. So, I mean, I don't think they told them before. And I think, you know, she made that decision that day. But, you know, if she didn't have that decision, she would have just picked Casey and then just split the money. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Well, and I also, because I talked to Nico a few times, I know to Casey and them, and I asked, like, you guys aren't allowed to barter. Right. You're not allowed to do any of that, right?
No.
Because I was thinking, why wouldn't you just be like, hey, I'm going to say I'm going to take the money, but really I'm going to split it. And then we're going to do all this, you know, promotional stuff, because everybody's going to, I mean, who do you remember from season 1? Garrett and Sarah.
Exactly. So, we didn't have that opportunity. I wouldn't have even, you know, considered that with Louise. Like, I still really do like this girl more than I, you know, have liked the girl in a very long time. So I was more focused on, you know, her, and I wasn't really worried about the money. And, you know, I never was gonna split the money or, you know, try to, you know, barter my way into, you know, some kind of TV thing. So that was kind of it. And, you know, I'm happy with the decision I made. I think it was the right decision, and, you know, it was good.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I, for sure, to be honest, I was like, he's gonna take the money. He's definitely gonna take the money, and she's gonna, you know, be devastated.
Yeah.
How sure were you going into the finale that did you think she was gonna pick you?
Oh, 100%.
You did.
100%. You know, going into finale, it's stressful because you don't know, and I was more thinking about what are the producers trying to pull. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't more thinking about, is Louise not going to pick me? I was like, maybe the producers are maybe going to get in her ear and try to blah, blah, blah. But I knew Louise liked me more than Benedict. And, you know, I mean, I kind of was picked for everything. You know, like I got her first lanyard. We kissed the first day. You know, there's some things that they even showed that, you know, I was picked for that they didn't put in the show because it would have been very lopsided if they would have put it in, you know? Yeah. So they had to make it kind of look close. But I was for sure I was going to win. I feel like I actually did have like a 50-point lead. Like our connection was just that strong.
Yeah. That's awesome though. Like that makes me happy to talk to you, to know that it was like, it was legit. Like we really did like each other.
Exactly. It was legit. You know, obviously when you're in those interviews, you know, the producers are trying to make a TV show. And with the way I was to the guys and like argumentative and, you know, going back and forth, called feel goofy, like I was the easy villain, you know?
Yeah.
So when I would go down and do the interviews, they'll be like, all right, we need your confident side, like be a little sassy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's when you see me saying those things because, you know, it's kind of like coached up a bit. I mean, I would say it anyways, but, you know, we're making a TV show.
Right. Yeah. And I think that anybody that watches this and doesn't realize that, then they're well, maybe this isn't the show for you.
Right. Exactly.
Produced. So when did producers reach out to you to come on the show, or did you apply?
So there's actually like they have like recruiters for things like this, and a guy basically just DM'd me.
Yeah.
He DM'd me, and he was a guy who was previously on TV shows before. Like he was on I think Are You the One or something, and now he does like casting or something.
Yeah.
So he DM'd me and was like, dude, you'd be good for this show. You know, just, you know, respond back and I'll set you up with the video chat with producers. And that was kind of it. And the producers kind of liked me and I went through the process.
Did they kind of push you towards one way or another, like whether or not you were going to come on as an F-boy or as a nice guy?
They didn't really push it. They just basically asked about my life.
Okay.
And, you know, I've been single for like, you know, 3 or 4 years before. And, you know, I have a lot of women. So it's like, it was easy. It's not, I didn't come in thinking that I was an F-boy, but, you know, they were like, all right, you just told me about your life and you're an F-boy, you know? So it's like.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like if they had, you know, like you check a box, if like.
So some people do. So when you're doing the application process, they say, what do you think you are?
Oh,
you know?
okay.
And I said, I don't know. I didn't really know. Because I mean, I wasn't the guy who was ever a player. Like, you know, every woman who comes in contact with me and we have a relationship known that this is, you know, kind of just sexual and it's not, you know, a forever thing. So I never really lied to girls and was, you know, saying girls, I love you when I didn't. So I didn't really think I was a player, you know, I just thought that, you know.
Yeah.
Just got a lot of women.
So were you shocked when Kash was like, by the way, I'm an F-boy?
Yes. Everyone was shocked because he told everyone that he was a virgin and we all believed
tell everybody that. Yeah.
So it's like, he comes in, he says he's been homeschooled. So, you know, like with homeschools, you know, things are a little different. Yeah. So it's like, maybe he could be a virgin. You know, you don't really see that many other people when you're just at home. So I'm like, I believed it, but I thought that was the most shocking thing. It was almost scary to watch his like demeanor change. Like he turned to a different person. I was like, is he gonna pull something out of his trench coat or something? Like, this is scary.
Yeah, he did. Like his whole demeanor changed when he said it. It was like, oh, you are an F-boy.
Yes. And he's a very cool guy. I like him a lot. But oh yeah, he's a certified F-boy.
When the guys come in, is everyone pretty, like, do they hold it close to their chest?
Oh yeah.
They're an F-boy or nice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They don't want to. See, I wondered if everyone would come in and just try to play it up, you know, like over the top, like I'm a nice guy, or just say I came on the show as a nice guy.
Right. I mean, some guys, I mean, the point is to kind of deceive it and look like the nice guy until you have to reveal. That's kind of the point of the game, because you don't want the girls to be like automatic F-boy. They're not going to give you a chance. So the point is coming in the game is kind of put your best foot forward and look like a nice guy. And then, you know, if you are F-boy, you're going to have to reveal it, but the connection could already be progressed at that point, you know?
See, I kind of wish they kept it hidden through the whole show. I kind of wish it was not revealed until you got voted off or you were chosen.
Yep. I think it would be better too.
Don't you think that makes more sense? Like, so then, because right now with it, the way it's set up, in my opinion, no offense, Elon, but it seems like it almost caters to the F-boys. It almost seems like the girls realize they're an F-boy and then they think, oh, I can change them.
Right.
Instead of automatically choosing a nice guy.
Right, exactly. And I think you know, it's still a great show and Elon does a great job. Right. But I would think that it would be better, like, if the girls don't know until the end, you know, until, you know, basically, you know, your final two. And then, you know, if she picks you, she still don't know if you're F-boy, but then you reveal it. I think that would be the best way to go about it, but that's not the way they do it. And, you know, with watching season 1, coming as an F-boy, I knew I was going to have to reveal myself at some point. So it's like, you know, I kind of prepared for that.
Yeah. So how hard was the mansplain at the end? Were you dreading it, or were you just kind of like, whatever, everybody's
I knew what I was going to do. I was ready for it. Because I know I didn't do any locker room talk. So I knew if they came out and they were saying that, it was going to be a lie. And I was shooting them down every time. Like I killed them. The producers thought that this was going to be the downfall of me. Like, they were coming up to me before. I was like, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I got this. Yeah. But the producers, they talk to all the eliminated guys and they'd be like, all right, what are you going to say? you know, and they don't care if they're lying. You know, they want you to say something that's going to make a splash. So with all the guys coming in, I didn't know locker room talk. So when Kyland and Nikolai said that I told them that I was going to take the 100K, it's like, I didn't say that to anybody. And then why would I say it to my two enemies?
Right. Yeah.
So it just looked stupid. And I kind of just killed him with that.
Well, Nikolai was the one, didn't he say, he was the one that said Mikey D had a girlfriend, right?
No, that's Nikki P.
Nikki P. Okay. There were so many, there was Nico, Nikolai, and Nikki.
Yes,
I
was mixed up with that too.
Yeah. So one of them, I think Nico told me that Nikki P just made up what he thought was a lie about Mikey D having a girlfriend. And then he really did have a girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah, so I know Mikey came in, you know, with a game plan too, of no locker room talk. Because I know he never was talking about any girls back home or even having a girlfriend. So the fact that he made that up and then it was true was just so crazy. And then they're best friends now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like live together.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, live together in Houston. Yeah, it's crazy.
Shoot, somebody else did some. Oh no, Kylan did have a girlfriend.
Yep.
Exactly. And
I
talked to him. I was like, how does that conversation go? How do you say, hey, honey, I'm going on a reality show to make out with some other girls?
Yo, exactly. I don't know how that works. I don't think I would be able to pull that off. But Kylan's a smooth guy, man. Kylan's a smooth man. So, I mean, I know he had some way of finagling. Oh, yeah, for sure. They broke up for sure. Because Kylan's an F-boy. You know, it's clear as day.
It's so funny. So do you think you'll come back if they do? Because I know they have this whole plan. Like, they want basically like an F-person universe.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? This experience was absolutely amazing. And, you know, I mean, me and Lou still might get together. So, I mean, if that doesn't work, you know, sure. But, you know, I'm still focused on the relationship with Louise because that was real.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. What are your next plans? Have you got like stuff in the works? Are you working on anything?
Yeah. So actually I have my own clothing brand called the Sinners Club. And I've been, you know, kind of playing this for a couple of years and I kind of rolled it out after the show. So I'm really into clothing, fashion, like modeling, and I'm really happy to have my own brand and be able to make my own things. So I'm kind of venturing into that industry of fashion and modeling. But, you know, I mean, I'm down to do more reality TV, you know, anything. I like this industry. Like I kind of fell in love with it with, you know, what I just did on the show. Like, I mean, I didn't expect to like it this much, and I think I was pretty good at it. So, I mean, I definitely would like to do it again or something like it again.
Are you gonna have Peter as one of your models?
No, yeah, he's a supermodel, man. I need that. That'll get my brand up for sure. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I talked to him after season 1 or during. Yeah. It was right after season 1. Yeah, I always liked Peter. He was funny. He was really easy to talk to.
Yeah, he is.
So what would you say I mean, you're with Louise right. as much as you can be. Mm-hmm. Has the show impacted your dating life? Like people that know you or that see you're like, oh man, he's an F-boy. So yeah.
I mean, I look like an F-boy already. I have piercings, I have tattoos. Like I don't look like a nice guy, you know, for the most part. Like, you know, I have like an innocent face, but I have like piercings. Like, you know, this is like kind of a F-boy look, but it's just like my style. So it's like girls are gonna look at me already and think, you know, he, you know, has a lot of women or looks like an F-boy. So I don't think it's changed much. I mean, girls, they still like me.
Don't have any problems in that area.
Yeah, there's no problems with that.
So who is your closest friend in the house?
In the house. So Tom and Danny were my roommates from day one. Okay. So we always lived together.
Yeah, I knew you were friends with Danny. That's right.
Yeah, that's my guy. So we were really close in the house. Me, Tom, and Danny would talk about everything off camera. And then we're in the same room and then all going after different girls. So there was no like conflict of interest. It was kind of smooth. We can be open with each other. So on the show, Tom and Danny for sure. Nico, before he got eliminated, was one of my best friends. He's the funniest guy.
He is so funny. He's so he really is the epitome of a nice guy too.
Yes, exactly. He is the epitome of a nice guy, but he's also an F-boy, which every guy, I'll say this, every guy on that show was an F-boy.
Really? I don't point me like that.
I'm having to ruin it for you. Every single guy who was casted on that show is an F-boy.
What's your definition of an F-boy? I am old, so I'm like, we didn't call you guys F-boys when I was dating. I'm married, so we didn't have any of that.
Yeah, so I mean, an F-boy is a guy who basically gets a lot of women, and you know, has a game. There's a game, like, you know how to attract a woman. Yeah, a player, somebody who, you know, just knows the game and gets a lot of women. That's what I was saying. F-boys. A nice guy is somebody who doesn't go out and sleep around. In my eyes, you know, a nice guy who doesn't go out and sleep around and is someone who is looking to get married tomorrow.
And Nico's a player?
I don't know if he's a player, but he has game and he knows how to get women. And
he's cute as a button. Like, who would say no to Nico?
Right, exactly. He's a good-looking guy, so it's like he knows the game, and he you know, he is a nice guy, but I don't know if he's looking for marriage. Like,
yeah. Well, you guys are still so young too. So
yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, I don't blame him, but like, yeah, some of the guys, you know, got the nice guy image, and it was kind of easy for them in that way. Because
Nico likes my stories about like my little girl and stuff on Instagram. I'm like,
that's how he is.
Really a nice guy.
he's a good mixture of nice guy and F-boy. That's what I was saying about him.
All right. Okay, so we really want to tell people to find you, to look you up, to find your clothing line.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you could basically just go to my Instagram, Mercedes Knox. I have the links to my Sinners Club, and I got the links to basically all my socials on there. So go to my Instagram at Mercedes Knox, and you'll be able to find everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on to talk to me. I love getting to talk to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.